it's the Really Charlie Podcast. Yeah, it's the Really Charlie Podcast. Yo, it's the Really Charlie Podcast. Bump into your broadcast, grab a chair, fill your glass. Yeah, it's the Really Charlie Podcast. Yo, it's the Really Charlie Podcast. Yeah, it's the Really Charlie Podcast. Bump into your broadcast, grab a chair, fill your glass.
Hey, welcome to the Really Charlie Podcast. I'm Charlie Perry, and today we're going to celebrate Black History Month. It's crazy what a lot of things that are going on and how we actually get tested as people again, as Americans again, and where there was progress, right? Progress. Things getting better over the past several decades. And then now, all of a sudden, within the last decade or so, things are getting worse. Seem to kind of backtrack, go back to the old American ways and how they're surfacing over and over again on a daily basis, on an hourly basis, really. So the United States of America is pretty much very, very divided. So when there's podcasts like this, or news documentaries where people are trying to put out newsworthy content, it's very, very important, especially when there's so many things being scripted on the national media, where things are being selected or of what they do, what they predict, what they put on the air, what they want us to see, which has pretty much been going on, since the existence of TV and radio. So, but today I want to celebrate, and I want to celebrate Black History Month. Now, as you see, I have a picture in the background of the Tuskegee Airmen. I also have this coat on. Something that's very dear to me. It was a gift that I gave myself years ago, and I wear it. I wear it all the time, and I enjoy it. So Mr. Trump decided that he's going to kind of get rid of a lot of DEI programs throughout the federal agencies. And so the United States Air Force decided right away that they were going to remove the Tuskegee Airmen from their training videos. So as I'm thinking, I'm saying, well, that was someone that's in the military, right, that decided to make that decision and remove it, because all in all, there is someone's in charge. And I hope that someone isn't guiding men and women in the military, because they immediately removed this from the training and then decided days later they're going to put it back. Well, your first common sense thing would have said, well, no, this is men of the United States Air Force that fought and saved many, many lives. And that's very much documented throughout our history books, throughout the stories of World War II veterans, on both sides, right? Explaining how the Tuskegee Airmen and their heroic deeds and how they saved so many people, so many soldiers, is very evident. So, but welcome to the show again. And so what we're going to do is I'm just going to bring up some things and with Black History Month. One of the things I want to bring up is the New Bedford Historical Society. And New Bedford is in the state of Massachusetts, and I want to bring them up and some of the things that they're doing. But we need to reflect on the rich legacy of Black Americans and recognizing and honoring their history. And it's more essential more than ever right now. Systematic racism that's going on, and it's been going on, but that's a reflection on the resilience of Black Americans and what they had to go through from slavery, from Jim Crow laws. So they're trying to remove a lot of things from the bookshelves, history, and we contributed a lot in arts, science, and technology. So be proactive and get some of those things out there and teach your children, teach others. And it doesn't have to be always children. Adults need some history too. So share some history with the adults that are near you and talk about situations like the Tuskegee Airmen, like the Greensboro Four, who we have a local, we have one of them that lives here in our city. That's Dr. Jabril Kazan, Ezel Blair Jr., as he was known back then. And, their anniversary just passed us. I will talk about them more because I don't want to go into it too much, but I will be talking about the Greensboro Four in the next couple of days, because every few days I'm going to bring something up. But today is something that's dear to me, and that's the New Bedford Historic Society. So I'm going to bring that up here on the screen. This is Black history at its finest, right? Let's see. The New Bedford Historic Society is right here in downtown New Bedford, in the historic district. And see, Nathan Pauley House, Nathan Pauley Johnson House, which is on 7th Street, downtown New Bedford. And the house is beautiful. It's going through some renovations. Some things are being done. So when we do the tours in the Pauley House, things will be up to par and making the house looking better than ever. Right across the street, we have Abolition Row Park, it's a statue of Frederick Douglass, as you see. And that's one of the added features to go with the historic district downtown. Frederick Douglass lived here, and this was one of the cities that he was able to escape to and become the person that he is, with his unbelievable speeches. And he stayed at this house, and he had numerous residents in the city, not too far. The radio station that I'm part of, which is WNB1 Radio, which is on that same block right at Union and 7th Street. So I'm also on the board for the New Bedford Historic Society. There's many things that we're doing, and I just want to bring this up because as you're celebrating, especially if you're local, as you're celebrating Black history, you may not have to go too far, and some of the greatest historians in our country actually resided here in New Bedford. So let me see. I want to try to bring up a video of a very fabulous person, and that's Lee Blake. Lee Blake has been an iconic figure in this area, and he has done many, many things. along with the collaboration with many people. Let's see. Let's try to find that video. There she is, our friend. Let's try to find the video. Just seen it. Lee has been doing many things for many years, whether it's at the University of UMass Dartmouth. She's done many, many things and maintaining the history. As you see those beautiful pictures, downtown historic bank. The buildings are tremendous. Right off to the side of the bank, that's a condominium that's coming up. This is the one of our parks in the district. But the reason why I bring up all this, right, is because it's the historic Black History Historic Trail. And it's very, very important that that we know the history of the city. It was once the richest city in the world, right? Richest, small little town, Whaling City, where you get the story of Moby Dick, all originated right here, right in this area, right in this state. So as things again abolished, right? Excuse the pun, Black history, DEI programs, they're trying to get rid of it. You don't need permission. You don't need permission to celebrate Black history. Black history is American history. Black history is something that you can talk about every single day, right? And you just learn about it. And as you learn about it, you're gonna figure out that, hey, these were some amazing people getting help from amazing, amazing friends, Quakers, and everyone that was that was an abolitionist, that were trying to do what was right, trying to make our country better. Talk about make America great again. America is fine. It's doing some great things. We need some improvements, right? We all know that we need some improvements, but we most definitely cannot take steps back. So that's the New Bedford Historic Society, downtown Bedford, the Nathan Polly House, and many, many other things that we have. So I'm going to talk about that a little bit more. I'm going to leave the website on the screen so you all can see. And let's put the banner up here. Like I said, I'm going to talk about many, many things throughout the week when it comes to the Historic Society and Black history. Where's that link? Here it is. That's the link. That's the site that I just showed you. So don't get discouraged, all right? There's one thing that Black folks have been through much, as we all know. And they've been through so much where many, many millions and millions of Black folks were killed. And they maintained and went through all the craziness, atrocities, from being slaves, from being murdered, lynched, put in different buses and back of the bus, and it's just crazy. Not told that you're a U.S. soldier in the military. You're a separate unit But meanwhile, we need you to do this. We need you to do that. We need you to put your life online for a country that's been oppressing you for hundreds and hundreds of years. And you know what? Black folks did it. They did it. They called the N word and every other thing. But you know what? They were called many despicable things. And you couldn't marry. You couldn't marry a person that was of African descent. You know, there was no mixing of the races. But they didn't have no problem mixing with the races in the hen house, right? Going into the slave quarters and doing whatever they wanted to our women and our men, and just, you know, at some point and at many points creating babies. It was all right. It was all right to dibble and dabble while the missus was in the big house, you know, or the mister was in the big house, as they said, the master. Had no problem producing some biracial babies. But they never owned up to it, including President Thomas Jefferson, or even the guys like FBI Director Mr. Hoover, Edgar Hoover, you know, who denies his Black heritage. So there's many things, and he was also a gay man, which has been known, you know. So he bashed everybody, but little did we all know that he was biracial and a gay man. So nothing wrong with that in my eyes, but he felt there was something wrong with it, I guess, unless he was behind closed doors. But you notice that he was also a racist, hiding behind the outcry of communists, where they try to go after the likes of Dr. Martin Luther King, which led to his assassination and all the different things that the FBI did during that tragic day when he was assassinated. Hey, good morning, Anthony Black, my man. What's going on? How you doing? Another radio host. My man, Anthony, I'm glad you're here, along with everybody else that's here and maybe listening to me. You know, I appreciate the time that you are sharing with me and on my podcast, and it's one of a few. You know, we have this one, we have Fentanyl Facts and Stories, we have the Frequency Live on Sundays, on WNB1 Radio, and you know, so I like it. I like doing podcasts. I wish I could do it every day. And the Really Charlie podcast is here every Tuesday, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, and trying to venture off and do a little bit more on other platforms too. So I'll keep you informed about that. So, my man, Anthony Black, just that name puts a smile on my face. It's man, I love that name. All right, so we're gonna keep on talking about Black history. Feel free if you feel comfortable and you want to talk about Black history here on the podcast. I'm gonna try to do this every few days and bring out some Black history, a Black history story. I mentioned about Dr. Jabril Kassan, who was part of the Greensboro 4, dear friend of mine that lives here in New Bedford, Massachusetts, and that's going to be the next show that we do, probably later on in the week, and I'll bring up many more stories as I see. But feel free, you want to come on, let me know. Send me a little message. My email is really Charlie podcast at gmail.com. And you can send me an email. And we'll go from there. All right. Let me just tell you about the Historic Society. That's the website in front of me. Please join it. There's many things. We actually got a fabulous calendar. I believe it's $40. Some crazy pictures, some old pictures of families within the area, way back in the day. But it's not for profit. It's mainly for marketing and just to get the information out there. So check out the website and order a calendar. Some great pictures. All right, let's see. We got 7:21, so I'll hang on for a few more moments. We I'm trying to keep this positive, right? Every day you go through the news and you hear everything. It's like boom, 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 boom. It's like being in a boxing match. You're just getting hit, jabbing, hitting, jabbing, hitting, jabbing. And social media has us doing that now, where you want to respond and you want to talk about something, whether it's trying to support something, whether it's not supporting something, whether it's trying to get your point across. We're just going at it. And as we go at it and we see all the things that are on social media, what bothers me is I love politics, right? I love the persona about being a politician, and I wouldn't mind being in that seat. I tried it, for the city. I really like it. And hey, Michael Samail, how you doing, man? On YouTube, appreciate you. All right. So the what was I getting at? So what's been getting me mad, other than all those different jabs you're throwing or support for, is the politicians that are just sitting back. It's the same old faces standing up. It's the same old voices doing it. The same old voices speaking up over and over again. Where are the rest? Where are the several hundred of them? Why ain't they speaking out? What's your problem? You took that seat and you're getting six figures to sit there. And you know what? You got a job to do. You have to do it. As men and women that sit in a political seat, you have to stand up. And maybe you feel that you don't have to stand up. Maybe things are going just the way you like it. But just as millions and millions of people had voted Donald Trump in, there's millions and millions of people that didn't vote. And there's millions and millions of people that are kind of suffering. Some people, excuse my language, but effed around and found out. They found out what they voted for. And here it is. It's only been about 16 days, right? So they're finding out. But as someone in the Senate, someone in Congress, if you're sitting there doing nothing, America's going to call you out. America's going to call you out. And it's going to be time for you to gather up your things and going to sit around and fight around somewhere else, not in Congress and not in the Senate. All right. So let me move forward. We're celebrating Black History Month. And the Tuskegee Airmen is something that's dear to me. Truly love their story. I love everything about it. The Triple Nickel was another one. There was another unit, very famous. We have We had the 888. That's just in Tyler Perry's movie. That's coming. There's so many different Black history, military movies out there, documentaries. Get on YouTube, check it out. Google the different movies, but those are 3 that I like. All right, I hope you like my jacket. Believe it or not, Amazon had this. Had many things. Amazon has everything. All right, everyone, I am going to move forward with this evening's podcast, and I will definitely see you in a couple of days. I will actually be back on tomorrow, but we're going to be talking about grief and love, and we're going to have some guests on here, and they're going through a lot. So it's pretty tough when you're grieving for someone that you love so dearly. And some of my guests will be on tomorrow night, same time. And then after that, I'll bring up another podcast about Black history. So got anything on your mind, just let me know, and I'll definitely bring it up. Most likely it'll be Thursday night. All right. Take care. God bless and love you. Don't forget about the New Bedford Historic Society.org. Check out their website. And if you're in New Bedford, come see us. I would gladly meet and greet with you at the Abolition Road Park at 7th and Spring Street. And get to take a picture near the Frederick Douglass statue, which is amazing. So, all right. Take care. God bless. Love you. Black is beautiful, as you can see. This face of mine, right? Can't you see? Actually, let me end with a poem that I wrote years ago. Let's see. That's what I'm gonna do. That's fitting, right? Yeah, I love poetry. Got a new book that I'm trying to get together, So, all right, the title of this is Black is Beautiful. I don't mind the skin I'm in every day of the year. I see the dark tone, but dark is lovely to me. I see all colors as beautiful. Good vision allows the colors to be highlighted. Black History Month is a slighted way to say we will celebrate once a year for the history that is American history. Black is beautiful, and being beautiful is something I don't mind every day. All right, y'all. Take care. God bless. Proud to be a Black man, Cape Verdean man, an American man. I truly love all 3 of it. So take care. I'll see you tomorrow night. God bless. I'm going to end this podcast with my favorite song by Lionel Peter Walker. And I will see you on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Take care.
It's the Really Charlie Podcast. Yeah, it's the Really Charlie Podcast. Yo, it's the Really Charlie Podcast. Bump into your broadcast, grab a chair, fill your glass. Yeah, it's the Really Charlie Podcast. Yo, it's the Really Charlie Podcast. Yeah, it's the Really Charlie Podcast. Bump into your broadcast, grab a chair, fill your glass.